Welcome to the KinoCheck News Highlights, the biggest movie news of the past few weeks in one video. In this one, we discuss the new villain in Godzilla Kong Supernova, provide exciting updates on Top Gun 3, and report on changes in the How to Train Your Dragon 2 live-action remake. We'll also talk about a fantastic cast for the new James Bond film, recent developments in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and much, much more. Sounds exciting? Well, here are the details. Mission Impossible 8 director and screenwriter Christopher McQuarrie gave an update on Top Gun 3 in the Happy Sad Confused podcast. The most important message? The story for the sequel is already in the bag. He and his co-writer Ehren Kruger were relatively quick to agree on what the plot should look like. McQuarrie was also asked whether he might take on the position of director this time. His response? He hadn't thought about it yet. However, it is possible that Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski could return to direct the new sequel. Maverick was a major box office success in 2022 and managed to surprise quite a few skeptical viewers. But so far, only Tom Cruise has been confirmed for the cast of Top Gun 3. However, it can be assumed that Miles Teller and Glenn Powell will make a return as well. A date for the theatrical release is not available at the moment. So get the KinoCheck app to make sure you don't miss any news on this topic. Monsterverse fans are eagerly awaiting the theatrical release of Godzilla Kong Supernova. One of the biggest topics of discussion: which new adversary can we expect? Well, it now seems as good as certain. The legendary SpaceGodzilla awaits us. This is hinted at by actor Matthew Modine, who shared the Japanese poster for Godzilla vs. SpaceGodzilla, along with a scene from the old film on his Instagram account. Now, this is unlikely to be a mere coincidence. When the title Supernova was announced, many fans already speculated it would involve the Godzilla variant from outer space. In the Japanese cult classic, Godzilla's cells were cast into space, fell into a black hole, re-emerged from a white hole, and were exposed to the energy of a supernova, resulting in their transformation into a powerful, crystal-covered monster with supernatural abilities. Matthew Modine plays a general who is set to take on a central role in the fight against the new threat. Also part of the cast are Caitlin Dever, Jack O'Connell, and Jurassic Park icon Sam Neill. Likewise confirmed is the return of Dan Stevens as Trapper Beasley. Part 3 is directed by Grant Sputor, known for the sci-fi thriller I Am Mother, and filming for Godzilla Kong Supernova has been ongoing since April. The theatrical release is scheduled for March 26, 2027. What a piece of news! Jon Bernthal is the Punisher in Spider-Man Brand New Day. This will be the actor's first appearance in a Marvel film. Bernthal's Punisher was first seen in the second season of the popular Netflix series Daredevil. He then even got his own series with Marvel's The Punisher. So now the question is whether his appearance will be more of a cameo like that of his Daredevil colleague Charlie Cox in No Way Home, or whether the Punisher will have a significant impact on the story of Spider-Man 4. After all, the character is known for his brutal violence, which sets him apart from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Industry insider John Roca, however, revealed back in January that we can likely expect a team-up between Peter Parker and Frank Castle against a savage version of the Hulk. And indeed, sources from the portal Nexus Point News recently confirmed that Bruce Banner will play a major role in Spider-Man 4. That leaves one big question: why has the Hulk suddenly gone wild again? And why is he now siding with the bad guys? Chris Parker from 3C Films has an interesting theory. According to casting rumors from Daniel Rickman, Mr. Negative could be involved in the new movie. The Underworld boss would have the power to reactivate the Hulk's savage and destructive side. Reportedly, the production team has already been delving into samurai and shinobi clothing, a possible hint at the Asian villain and his henchmen. But these reports have also sparked speculation about whether Silver Samurai could appear as one of the villains. The news about the Punisher's appearance in Brand New Day is raising anticipation for the announced Punisher special on Disney+. The short film is set to be released next year alongside the second season of Daredevil Born Again. We expect this to lay the groundwork for his appearance in Spider-Man 4. By the way, this is not the only project that Tom Holland and Jon Bernthal are currently involved in together. Both are also starring in Christopher Nolan's action epic The Odyssey, which is likewise scheduled for release in 2026. Spider-Man Brand New Day is set to hit theaters on July 31st, 2026, if everything goes according to plan. The How to Train Your Dragon remake is currently making waves in cinemas, and the sequel is already in development, once again by mastermind Denis Villeneuve, who also directed the original animated trilogy. The director has now revealed some exciting details about How to Train Your Dragon 2. In an interview with the Portal discussing film, one statement in particular caused a bit of a surprise. "There are still regrets I have that I would love to address in the live-action version." The director kept to himself what exactly he meant by this, but the prospect of changes in Part 2 is surprising, especially since the first live-action film closely followed the animated original in terms of content. However, this faithfulness to the original also led to discussions among fans. Some wondered why a remake was even necessary if so few changes were made. Others, however, argue that the movie worked so well precisely because it successfully translates the strength of the animated version into a live-action adaptation. Villeneuve also spoke with the website comicbook.com about Hiccup's mother, Valka. In the original, the character was voiced by Hollywood star Cate Blanchett. The director hopes that Blanchett will be available for the live-action adaptation as well. And it's already known when the next adaptation will be released. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is set to hit theaters on June 11, 2027. After much speculation, everything is now settled. Following his acclaimed work on Thunderbolts, Jake Schreier is now set to direct the first X-Men film in the MCU. After concluding the multiverse saga, Marvel is apparently planning a fresh start, with the X-Men at the center. A few months ago, it was already confirmed that a number of classic X-Men actors, such as Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, will return for Avengers Doomsday. Marvel further announced that 4 new MCU movies will be released in 2028. Possible candidates include the X-Men film, Blade, Black Panther 3, and Shang-Chi 2. It was only in May 2025 that Disney CEO Bob Iger admitted that Marvel had lost some focus in recent years. We all know that in our zeal to flood our streaming platform with more content, that we turn to all of our creative engines, including Marvel, and had them produce a lot more. We've also learned over time that quantity does not necessarily beget quality. By consolidating a bit and having Marvel focus much more on their films, we believe that will result in better quality. So now, 4 movies are slated for release in 2028. At least, it seems they're taking their time. Next year, we're only expecting Spider-Man 4 and Avengers Doomsday. And so far, only Avengers Secret Wars has been announced for 2027. On March 26, 2027, The Legend of Zelda will finally be released in cinemas. Now there's an exciting rumor about the cast. According to Hollywood insider Daniel Rickman, Euphoria star Hunter Schafer is being considered for the role of Princess Zelda. Now, fans have long believed Schafer to be the ideal candidate for the role, not least because of her striking facial features, which are strongly reminiscent of the popular video game character. However, nothing has officially been confirmed yet. Hunter Schafer had already admitted to being a big fan of the game series back in 2023. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, she expressed her delight at the mere idea of playing Zelda. "That would be cool. I played that video game a bunch when I was a kid. That's such a good game." Legend of Zelda revolves around the young warrior Link, who has to save the magical kingdom of Hyrule from impending darkness. The sinister warlord and sorcerer Ganon is in search of the legendary Triforce, an ancient artifact with limitless power. In order to stop him, Link must embark on a dangerous journey, traverse dark dungeons, solve puzzles, and defeat powerful enemies. Only with the help of sacred artifacts can he restore balance to the world. It's currently unknown who will play the role of Link. There's news about the Elden Ring film adaptation. According to industry magazine Deadline, Kit Connor is in talks for the lead role. A deal has not been signed yet as negotiations are still at an early stage. However, casting Kit Connor would take his career to a new level. The actor celebrated his breakthrough with the Netflix series Heartstopper and has already worked with the meanwhile confirmed director Alex Garland on the war film Warfare. The Elden Ring film adaptation is already one of the most ambitious projects from Studio A24, which is known for its original and visually impressive productions. The game of the same name from 2022 was a huge success, selling over 30 million copies and delighting fans and critics alike. The game's expansive open world, challenging combat, and in-depth narrative made it a global phenomenon. A release date for the movie has not yet been set. For a long time, there's been speculation about Christopher Nolan or Gravity director Alfonso Cuarón. But now, the choice has been made for another filmmaking heavyweight. Denis Villeneuve will direct the next film in the spy series. This news should please many 007 fans. Villeneuve is one of the most popular directors of our time and regularly manages to impress both audiences and critics with his movies. In an official announcement from Amazon MGM Studios, Villeneuve has already shared his thoughts on the upcoming project. Some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to 007. I grew up watching James Bond films with my father, ever since Dr. No with Sean Connery. I'm a die-hard Bond fan. To me, he's sacred territory. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many new missions to come. This is a massive responsibility, but also incredibly exciting for me and a huge honor. Villeneuve started his Hollywood career with his acclaimed thrillers Prisoners and Sicario. He then made a breakthrough in the sci-fi genre with Arrival and Blade Runner 2049. Most recently, he's continued his successful career with the Dune films. James Bond is the next big step. It's still unknown who will be the next Bond, but fans have repeatedly called for Henry Cavill to take on the role. More recently, there's also been speculation about Rebel Ridge actor Aaron Pierre and 28 Years Later star Aaron Taylor Johnson. According to insider reports, filming for the new Bond movie is set to begin in 2026. Villeneuve is currently still busy with Dune 3. Therefore, the new 007 is not expected to hit theaters until 2027 at the earliest. There can be only one, but in the upcoming Highlander Reboot, it seems there's room for a second movie star. As revealed by Collider magazine, none other than Oscar winner Russel Crowe will be starring alongside Henry Cavill. According to consistent reports from various outlets, Crowe will take on the role of the Mentor, the character originally played by Sean Connery in the first Highlander movie. So now we're eagerly awaiting the casting of the villain, originally played by Clancy Brown in the 1980s classic. As John Wick director Chad Stahelski disclosed, the new movie won't be just a simple remake, but rather a broader evolution of the saga. In addition to the Highlands and New York, the story will also take place in Hong Kong, which is why Henry Cavill's character will also be trained in martial arts. It's still unknown when we can expect the Highlander reboot to hit theaters. Exciting news for all DC fans. Wonder Woman's future on the big screen had long been uncertain. Until now. In an exclusive interview with Entertainment Weekly, James Gunn officially confirmed that a new Wonder Woman film is actively in development. However, Gunn did not reveal who is writing or directing the script. The casting of the Amazon is also still open. But one thing is certain, Gal Gadot will not be returning. Her planned third solo appearance was canceled when Gunn and Safran took over creative control. Although Gadot had repeatedly expressed hope for a return in the past, Wonder Woman 3 was ultimately canceled in 2023. In May 2025, David Zaslav, CEO of Warner Bros., named 4 key figures for the future of the DCU in a conference call: Superman, Batman, Supergirl, and Wonder Woman. Alongside a planned movie, the HBO series Paradise Lost is also still in development. The series revolves around political intrigue on the island of the Amazons, long before Diana Prince was even born. Gunn himself describes the project as a kind of Game of Thrones set on Paradise Island. The cast of the new Hunger Games prequel keeps on getting more and more impressive. 2 more actors have now been announced, and once again, among them is a true superstar. We're talking about Hollywood legend Glenn Close. In the new movie, she'll play the role of Ursula Sickle. She's the escort of the tributes from District 12 and is known as a career-driven woman, ruthless and cruel. Her husband, Magno Stift, will be played by Billy Porter. Some of Porter's most notable productions include the series American Horror Story and Posse. Magno Stift is the stylist of the tributes. The new film is based on the novel Sunrise of the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. The main character this time is Haymitch Abernathy, Katniss's future mentor, who takes part in the 50th Hunger Games. Thus, the new film is set 24 years before the main story of the Hunger Games. The role of Haymitch will be played by Joseph Zada. Coriolanus Snow will be portrayed by none other than Voldemort actor Ralph Fiennes. Also part of the cast are Ghostbusters star McKenna Grace, Karate Kid actor Ben Wang, and Jesse Plemons as Plutarch Heavensby. The role of the charismatic Caesar Flickerman will be played by Oscar winner Kieran Culkin. Filming for the prequel is set to begin in July 2025, and Francis Lawrence will once again direct the movie. He's directed every Hunger Games movie since Catching Fire and is also known for I Am Legend. The theatrical release is slated for November 20th, 2026. Work on Dune 3, officially titled Dune Messiah, is progressing. According to the well-connected industry portal Nexus Point News, 2 new actors are joining the film's cast, and this raises several questions about the plot. The talk is of Nakoa Wolf-Momoa and Idra Brooke, who will take on the roles of Leto II and Ganima, the twin children of Paul Atreides and Channing. In the original novel, these characters have just been born. However, since the actors are noticeably older, we may be in for a significant time jump. Alternatively, they could also appear in a vision of Paul's future, similar to his sister Aaliyah in Dune Part 2. By the way, if the name Nakoa Wolf-Momoa caught your attention, it's because he's actually the son of Jason Momoa, who plays Duncan Idaho. Denis Villeneuve will once again direct Dune 3. Filming is scheduled to begin in summer 2025, with a planned theatrical release date of December 18, 2026. And a familiar name is also back to compose the soundtrack, none other than Hans Zimmer. The perhaps most lovable superhero family ever is making a return. Incredibles 3 is in the works, and a director has finally been found. As The Hollywood Reporter reveals, Peter Sohn will direct the movie. He's the creative mind behind Pixar hits such as Elemental and The Good Dinosaur. He takes over from Brad Bird, who was responsible for the first 2 movies. Although Bird will no longer be directing Incredibles 3, he remains closely involved with the project. Currently, he's working on the screenplay for the sequel. The story about a superhero family that has to lead a normal life has already grossed around $1.8 billion thanks to 2 movies. A release date for Incredibles 3 has yet to be set. Those were the highlights from June. What got you most excited? And what disappointed you the most? We're looking forward to reading your comments and would really appreciate a like on the video. Your KinoCheck team.